Hey guys, welcome to the CR&E Morning Brew, January 20th. Sorry I'm late. I was having issues getting online this morning for whatever reason. Every once in a while this laptop acts up on me and doesn't want to do what I want it to do. So anyway, hopefully some of you guys will pop in here. If not, I'll just hang out by myself. That's okay too. Hoping the audio is better. I had a couple comments about the audio last couple weeks, and I don't know if it's my earbuds or what have you. It is a little frustrating now. So I'm going back to the old style headphones today because there's a mic that hangs down, maybe a little closer to my mouth. I know I do mumble, and it's okay. I do understand that there's an issue. So that's brand new and broken off here. Hey, bring it around. Good afternoon. Gotta break it off, huh? This is exactly why I hate having these old style headphones on. Because it has a cord and it's caught up on everything. Oh, when you buy something brand new and you gotta boot shit back on right out of the box. I got some Walther's 40-foot intermodal cars, a couple sets of them. I got some money for my birthday, so I went ahead and picked these up. Show it to you here in a second. I was just opening the box, and in the box was one of these handrails that are already broken. Shipping. So it's nice to repair something that's brand new, but it happens, I guess. You're the first company that's happened to or from. So I know this makes an exciting show here. We should have come off a million more times before I actually lose it. All right. Anyhow. So what are you up to today? Anything exciting? everything's going well here. I got these are actually metal. Never had the 40 footers. I guess what I'm understanding is that these are for international box uses, container use. 40-foot boxes. So these were the old 48 footers, I guess. This Thrall company has rebuilt the 48s. They cut them down and made them into 40s. Is my understanding. So it's kind of neat. These BNSF ones, and then I've also got a set of GTX. So I got these from. Come on, guys. Just piss poor, man. Piss poor. Yeah, I got these from Lombard Hogs. Hey, Joe. How many people in here yet today? It's okay. I'm just trying to open up one of my. I got some money for my birthday and picked up some of these 40-foot well cars. And you open a box and things are broke off, and that pretty well sucks. So. Bought it brand new. Except from Lombard. Obvious. So I think I'd let somebody's used junk. It happens. Frustrating, when you expect better. You get crap. Sorry guys, I know it's not that interesting right now. Might just be one of those Thursdays that aren't interesting. Put it back in the box and move it. What are you up to today, Joe? Says getting ready to build stuff for Jack. So he's going with a cement company now? I love his refinery stuff. see how much will go for this one. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I got some money, birthday money, and my sisters and I was able to pick these up from Lombard. How these actually wasn't a bad price for shipping and everything. But these are. These are metal cars too, so it's really pretty cool. They're the 40 footers. And there's here. I don't know, I gotta see what will fit in these because I have 48s. I do have some older like 45s and 20s that will fit. I don't know if 45s will fit the bottom of the fast. They actually have to be 40-foot containers. I think I think I started early, did I? I feel like I started late. I couldn't get my computer to come up. For some reason, I was having. Once in a while, it acts up like I need to reboot it, I guess. Like it doesn't want to write the internet. So, at some point, I might be in the market for a computer. But who knows? There's a lot of money out in there. Lots of money to put that in there. So, I just had one of those mornings. I had no coffee for. I could have slept in today. House is over. Hey, Jesse Ralph fan. Up there, welcome. Does this sound any better? I know I'm kind of mumbling even more than I always do, but I'm trying these today, going back to these headphones because this hangs down more in my mouth. And I feel like I've had a couple comments on the sound. Jesus Christ, I can't even think. On the sound. Being kind of cutting in and out, things like that. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's when I use my ear pods or what. But I don't know. We have to look at getting a microphone or something eventually. A real actual microphone. And that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of limiting as well. So, I was freaking really good. Nothing really. I got in the mail yesterday. A couple sets of these Walters 40-foot well car 5-packs. There's a glare. But my birthday, I picked them up. And if you guys saw in my, for those of you that watched my last video the other day, the LED lighting. So I went out and ordered these clips. And then I kind of put them up there, with some hot glue, a couple areas just to hold them, tack them up. These clips, if I can't see them, you screw them up in to the bottom of the base. Over there, you can't see it, but screw them in there and it holds them in place. So right now I'm leaving them temporary like they are, and then I will go ahead and once I get all the tops in, I'll go ahead and hey kitty. That's what I meant. Somebody got to work today, must be you. Those screws and yeah, screw them up. And so I thought that'd be kind of something that would be helpful, and this way it'd be a little more easily removed if I had to remove them, place them, anything like that. There's 100 of them in here. It should be enough to get you. I just got them off Amazon. Enough to give me the strip light mounting brackets. There's nothing fancy. Pro kick drum. My son's drums. He's at Fort Campbell, so we don't have any room for him there. And he was cool with me taking him down while he was gone, so I can expand the layout. That's why I did the rebuild, really. That's kind of how that all came about. So I got his little area of the basement that he was using for his drums. Hey, John. John, I went back to this today. And John was one of the guys that I was talking with off behind the scenes about the microphone cutting in and out. I think part of it's my voice, which I agree. My voice is kind of one of those different kind of voices. And then, for whatever reason, I don't know, if I turn my head or something, I get away from the mic. So just for fun, John, I went back to this one to try it out today. Thinking maybe that this hangs down a little bit more. You think it's still cutting in and out? Okay. Well, I don't know if it is where I'm at in the basement. You think it sounds better, John? Or is it still cutting in and out? Hunter Creek says it's still cutting out. So I don't know. It could be this mic. I mean, these headphones are old. This other set I have here, I think is even older. Looks older. Looks like he's been through the war. I don't know. I'll get it figured out. Because I was listening back to last week's show, and it sounds terrible, so I apologize for that. And I don't know exactly what to do besides buying an actual microphone. Okay, John. I was watching back the Short Line Thursday show from last week where I was on with Jim Tedesco on his channel, and it was the same thing. So I don't know what to do about it. I don't necessarily have anywhere to mount. Like, it would have to have a mic up here or something like that, or in front of me, you know? And I really don't have anywhere to mount. I have to see how they mount. Like, this is actually an arm. The light is on an arm and it's screwed right to the table. Just clipped to the table, sorry. So I don't know. I'd have to research it and see. Try this again. Maybe it's I'm going to put both of these in. Is that any better? Both of these headphones, or does that make it worse? 810, 810. Just do away with the damn headphones. auto volume and the mic settings. All right, let me see. Camera, mic, audio. Is that any better? Is that any better? I turned it off. Automatically adjusts my volume. I turn that off, turn the mic volume all the way up. I have echo cancellation on. Hey there. Is that any better? Alright, let me try that for a minute and see if that's any better. How is the rebuild? The time saver going? Turn the humidity. Sometimes I just talk low, guys. I have a low voice, and it's raspy, and sometimes it just is the way it is. So I don't know how to fix that. Other than trying to be more aware of my volume and how I speak to be more clear. It's been a lifelong issue. Hey, Anthony, Georgia Sunbelt, Matthew Whitmore, in the UK, Warwick, UK. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I don't know if I'll be able to show this or not, but I got my backdrop and that I ordered. It's trackside scenery, fall scene. It's hot. Yeah, I don't know how to really unravel this without causing a whole lot of trauma. You might be able to kind of see it. It's going to be a nice fall tree scene. It's mostly trees all the way around, all the way along. So I'm really looking forward to getting that up and going. I'm not going to unravel this. I have to be able to set up a table or something so I can do it safely and not crease it or damage it at all, you know. And I need probably some assistance from family. Too much to try to do on my own. Yeah, thanks, Hunter. I think it's going to look great too. That's, like I said, from trackside scenery. I think I Joey Ricard. Price-wise, about the same as any other companies. The only thing with them is they can only go to 96 inches long, which is, it's okay because I have a lot of the breaks in the scenery or in the wall I'm putting it on, so they are expensive, Joe. And like I said, thankfully I was able to get help from the wife for a birthday gift, so she covered about half of the cost on that. So, is Gary here? Hi, Gary. ELSDP 45. So I don't know. I'd like to do a video, an installation video on that backdrop. I don't know if I'm going to, I'll probably film, just turn the camera on and film. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So it might be like a before and after kind of thing. Still shots, I don't know. I don't even know when I'm going to get to it. I want to get to it sooner than later, but I have to be able to have all my preparation ready. I have to make sure I have proper help. Hey, Scott. Hey, Billy. Really? Because it's not something I want to dump myself. Now, those are the self-stick backs, too. So, last time on the old railroad, I did just paper backdrops. It was a heavy paper. This is photo paper. It's not vinyl. He doesn't do vinyl. Yeah, just he rail fan. We bought a couple steel mill backdrops. Where to use them, and that's a good way to do stuff too. I've been talking to Darren from B&H because he's going to be doing a coal mine and stuff like that, and that's a way to possibly do that by using little backdrops, and do like maybe flats in front of it. That might be something that would be to give some dimension and everything along those lines, and without having to take up all that space. Because to do a true steel mill, or even like I'm going to probably try to do that with the refinery. On my second level, I'm going to try to do like a big cold storage warehouse at one part. So I'll probably do some kind of a backdrop with the warehouses on it. And then do some flats, maybe just bring out like modified Pike stuff kit or something like that, and just bring out a little bit, maybe to have an inside loading dock or something like that, just to have the appearance, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it if you do it right anyways. And then save space too, so you have space for it. Because obviously, as much as we'd love to have, an old Kmart building or something, somebody once said that, even if you had a building of that size to build your layout in, you'd still never be able to model prototypical one-to-one, obviously. Dave's Trains, good morning. Rick, Scott, we got hit real bad on Monday here in Cleveland. Some areas got up to about 2 feet. We probably got a good foot to foot and a half here at my house. It was a little rough. A lot of people did not make it into work. I made it in, but got stuck at the top of my street trying to get out. I was able to, rock back and forth and get out. Thankfully, I had my van, which is a little bit higher than my SUV. Just one of the small SUVs, so, for escape. So it's not as high as the van, or as heavy as the van. So I was able to get out. Mom got 15 inches. Yeah, and that's a lot for Akron to get that much too. I think we might get another 3 or 4 inches today in this Lincoln snow. I don't know. Maybe. It's only going to be about 20 today. It was like 40 yesterday though. So some of it melted. Like what I couldn't get. I worked Monday. The wife and daughter were home, so they tried to shovel a little bit better. I have a plow guy, but I'm not impressed. There was a lot of snow though, so I shouldn't be so judgmental. But like he could have came back. I know it would have been a third time. The contract says 2 times. It was the first time he had to plow all year. So come on, man. Come back the next day and try to help clean up a little bit. But they don't. I'll tell you what, as I get older, though, I'm going to have to find some kind of company that does shoveling, too. Because it's just too much shoveling around these cars. Because it's one-car driveway, the way they're parked, you still get snow and you get to shovel the cars out still. Because the plowing goes so far up the driveway and they only get so close to the back of the cars. And you still got to shovel around the car. And when you brush the snow off the car, it all ends up in the driveway and you just add to it. Anyways, boo-hoo. The joys of living in Ohio. Winter time. But, Yeah, so then Tuesday I went out there and cleaned it up a little better, and yesterday it got warm, so things got slushy, so I was able to get a lot of leftover, like from the tire tracks and the drive. A lot of that was, what do you call it, soft enough, or whatever. I was able to shovel that up, clean it up. I'm worried about that. I don't like when the driveway's all messed up. Because then the next storm makes it worse, and then the next one makes it worse. If you don't shovel your, the sides of your driveway far enough out, and it just piles up. Joe, I don't have a snowblower, really. I do have a snowblower. I don't use it. It's, yeah, all right, whatever there. Jesse Rail fan. Or she just mentioned. You guys really showed up there in the playoffs. Go blow as usual. Go blow. One win in 9 years, and I think they did something. Anyways, so, the reason I don't use a snowblower is I don't work at 5 in the morning. So our houses are really close together. I live in the suburbs, close to my neighbors. So do you want me firing up a snowblower at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning in my driveway? I don't think so. I wouldn't be happy about my neighbor doing that to me. So, yeah, honestly, Jesse, real fan, I'm surprised you guys got your ass kicked like that. Because you guys looked legitimate, and then you guys just rolled over the Georgia, man. It was unbelievable. The usual Jim Harbaugh coaching. Yeah, my driveway's about 90 feet, somewhere in that range. Just because the garage is in the back of the house, it's not attached, so time to go to the house and back. It's probably 80, 90 feet, somewhere in there. I never measured it. And I usually just do the front walk to the door. I don't do the sidewalks. What's my favorite train model? Asking me, Matt. I'm a big CSX fan. I like modern. I like these ES44s. They're real nice. The Tier 4s are nice. But probably my favorite locomotive would be the ST40-3s, the SpongeBob square cabs, I guess. They call me. Is that what they call them, Chesky Rail fan? Joe. Everything will come to listen to the ride in. All right. Good to see you. I'd just be sitting there talking about my louse, Joe. James Colton, how you doing? Good to see you. Sure, you're driving with the neighbor. He has a blower. So, well, I mean, that's different, Joe. If I wasn't right on top of my neighbors, or the driveway's out in front of the houses, and not like my driveway's right. The houses are close. I mean, they're a little suburb. It's lots are 45 by about 125. So I mean, the driveway runs in between the houses. So like, my driveway's right next to like my neighbor's bedroom window and their spare bedroom window. Same thing with my side. On my bedroom side of the house is the same thing. That neighbor's driveway's right there. Hey, Eddie Toombs, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you, man? Good. So yeah, it's just a courtesy thing, and because I work so early in the morning, I've used it on the weekends later in the morning. I've used it like on my days off if it's later in the day, but I don't want to be getting off work having to shovel or blow snow. And it usually only costs for the whole season. I think I paid less than $300 for the snowplow guy, and that's like a yearly thing. It's going up every year. I think when I first started, it was more like an 150, 175 range, and it slowly keeps going up. I think this guy was 250-ish, somewhere in there this year. And I've tried several different guys out, and they're all about the same. Like I said, I'd like to find a company that will actually shovel as well. I mean, I'll end up paying for it, don't get me wrong. Usually the snow isn't too bad. I mean, I don't know. Hey, John, 2618, how are you? John, 2618, he has that, at least I think you still have it. It's more of a shelf, I'm going to call it a shelf switching layout. We're talking about like backgrounds. And somebody had mentioned about a steel mill background, and I was saying that, you know, you can do some cool stuff with that. You get a backdrop. I mean, I was thinking about getting maybe a warehouse and then doing background flats. John's a good channel to look at that kind of thing for, because he has warehouses that are like modified. I think they're kind of flats more, brings them out some. Yeah, but check his channel. He has there's a good channel, but he also really shows how to use background type buildings and modify like welders, flats, and like stuff things. What switch machine I'll use and like. Mine are all tortoises right now. I know James Galton is using the Walders ones. I'm happy with the tortoises. The only thing I don't like about tortoises is they hang down so low, so I'm not sure if I'll have to do something with the second level, how far they're going to hang down, they're going to be visible. I didn't think that one through. So I might try something different there. I am going to probably try to get a couple of snails, human civic teeth. There's a couple areas that I may need. Right now I have the tortoises with the switch H, and I can program them into my cab, NCE cab, and switch them. A couple are hooked up to switches. Yeah, because you can only do two in there. So behind me, there's two switches over here. I hooked in. I got one switch over here. I just have to lift gate. I got hooked into one. Yeah, Todd. Just you, Ralph, fan. I do like the look of the SpongeBob SquareCat. I just think it's interesting. The SD40-2s, the originals, I like as well. But for modern day, you got to go with the threes. If you still want to really run them for modern operation, I guess. But I guess they're still running them. I just think they look pretty cool. And scale trains kind of did us wrong, man. I gotta tell you, bastards. So they came out with 4 numbers on this new run. Everything's done. All the pre-orders are all bought, paid, whatever, all that stuff. And then a couple weeks later, a week later, something like that, they come out with another number that's got the yellow plow on it. I guess it was 40, 42, some kind of special, whatever, special one they did. Because I would have bought one of the ones that I bought, I would have replaced it with that yellow plow. So, and they're only making like 200 of them, but I am, yeah, Jason kind of sort of, not really. I just think it was kind of dirty how they did that. Came in with a specialized unit after everybody already spent their damn money on the regular units. Knowing damn well they had them because there wasn't a pre-order for them, they're already in stock. And just held them back till after everybody spent their money on the other stuff. Just trying to get people to spend more money. So I bought one. No, I didn't. I thought about it though. So, Yeah, it's probably overall my favorite locomotive, like, of time. You know, because you go from all eras. This locomotive, diesels, anyways. I'm not a big steam guy. I don't know a lot about steam, but as far as diesels go, that's always probably been. It's just a classic, you know. It's just 40-2s. Somebody asked me what my favorite locomotive was. Well, I do the pre-orders, James, because it gives me time to save up for them. Because usually they're 6, 8 months to a year out, so I put aside so much every month towards it. So when the pre-orders come due, I have the money to pay. Just allows me to get some of the things I wouldn't be able to just spontaneously buy. So. I'm not sure what the GP40, but I'm not sure what that is. I know scale trains are supposed to be announcing the 4-axle. They sure did, John. They sure did. I was a little upset about that. Because like I said, I pre-ordered the 4 numbers they had. I got them. Like I said, I saved up the whole time, and I'm not ashamed to say. I mean, I told you guys, I spend money on the locomotives. I'm not into spending money on a freight car, so I'll stick with the operators and things like that. I'm okay with some of the kits. Now, I have to say, I have been upgrading. A lot of you guys weren't in here yet. For my birthday, I got some money for my sisters in that, so I got these 40-foot well car sets. That one, and then the BNSF. It's hard to see what do you call it on there, but they're nice. They're metal. These Walthers mainline. So most of my stuff are kits with the well cars, and just letting you know the well cars are going to be like my biggest commodity, really. It's still a little bit better without the lid on. I got them from Lombard Hobbies. Shipping and everything out the door wasn't bad. I think I paid. What were they? I think out the door was around $100 a piece. I didn't think it was too bad. The scale training ones are coming out. The second run of those, they want 140 for them. But they're rivet counters, so maybe more. I made that, and to get that, I'm going to get some of the containers, because I don't know what will fit in the bottom of those. They're 40-footers. Will just 40 fit on the bottom, or will 45 fit on the bottom? I don't know, man. Just why did they have to do it that way? Because like I said, I'm not going to buy another locomotive for a yellow plow. I'll paint the damn plow. I mean, it's the wrong road number though. But they had to have them because it was only a couple weeks after they, all the pre-orders went out and everybody either paid or didn't. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I got a generous family. What can I say? Joke. Yeah, whatever, man. I bought a lot of stuff that you talked me into. The couplers, I am not a fan of. Everything on this railroad, if it isn't already, will have KDs. Usually it doesn't even hit the rails until I have KDs put on them. Some of these new that I picked up, like the 40-3s, I haven't changed yet because I'm waiting on some KDs to come in. And then they will be changed because let me tell you, they're just. I already had to replace a couple springs, popped out. Well, happy birthday to John, early birthday, John and Joe Rader, both in February coming up. Yeah, I like scale trains, locomotives overall. We've had this conversation before. I think the Tsunami 2 has better sound, things like that. I'm not impressed with ESU that much. Now, maybe I'm just not programming it right. I need to, change sound files or whatever. I do have a programmer. I was starting to play with it a little bit before, anyway, before I tore the layout down, and then I just haven't. This workbench is kind of a temporary thing. I haven't really wanted to tear everything out of the boxes. Oh, well, that's good news. It's a heck of a present. Are you going to have a more of an official layout area, or are you going to stick with what you've been doing with more of the modular? John, modular shelf type layout. I think that's what you have them. I think I have the wrong John. I don't think I am. So, model train aficionado. How are you? Yeah, it's a nice model. I have a CSX one and a Conrail / CSX one patched. It's funny because I was counting them up the other day. It's almost embarrassing to say, to be honest with you, I sold too many locomotives. That's a thing, I don't know. Going back to the text, I was texting with another buddy that uh, 21 scale trains locomotives. That over the years there. I think I have like 15 or 16 non-scale trains. And they're not all like really counter quality. But I like the quality of the scale trains. I like their drives. I like their details. I like shells, all that stuff. I like the look of them. I don't hate the ESU sound. I just think that it's a little tinny. And like I said, I might need to do some reprogramming. So, Athearn are light. Something I don't like about Athearn. Or the scale trains are light. I have a couple Broadway limiteds. Those are heavy as hell too, like scale trains are. But my like Genesis, they will not compare in pulling power to the scale trains. I cannot pull as large of a train with even two of them compared to one. Scale trains, it's just what it is. And again, once I get the local programmer reset up and learn more about how to play with that, I might be able to change some of the sound files and stuff. It's on the agenda. Scale sound speakers. Scale sound, you have a link to that? Is that like a separate company? I don't know what speakers they use. Is it just sugar cubes or what do they use? Because that might be the problem. Because I feel like with my Genesis stuff, my Athearn stuff, the horns just feel, I don't want to use the word throaty, but they just feel more solid, like deeper or something. I don't know how to explain it, right? But anybody that's had both and knows, they probably know what I'm talking about. Where the scale trains tend to sound a little more tinny. This is perfect for all locals. Scale sound speakers. If you could find a link, John, and you want to throw it up there, that'd be appreciated. Is it just called Scale Sound Speakers? I would definitely look into that. Write that down. Sound. Cool. Thanks for the info. Does that correct the problem that I am talking about with the tinny sound? Old Country Road. That I don't have any Fox Valley. I don't know. If anybody else in the chat maybe knows about Fox Valley. I don't have any of their rolling stock or locomotives. I don't have any. I might have a couple of pieces of Intermountain rolling stock. I don't have any of their locomotives. Wow sound. I think I have the wow sound. Let's see. John. See, how do you do that? Is it the star over here? Or the three things. Block user, put user in timeout. I want to do that. Star. Starting. That matters. I don't have any MTHs either. I almost bought them before Scale Trains came out with the Spirit units. I was going to go through MTH, but I was going to probably buy them DCC ready instead. Yeah, no, I'm 100% willing to try those out, John. Especially if it corrects some of that problem. I don't know. I mean, like Train Freak said, he feels the same way. If they sound, I don't know how else to word it other than tinny. You know, and it's a shame because they're beautiful locomotives. They run great. What's your first option there, Jason? Jesse Rail fan wants to know. If Wow Sound is your second. Soundtracks, Tsunami 2. Yeah, I do like the Tsunami. 360. I'm just, Athearn makes a nice model. I'm not trying to knock Athearn. I just don't feel that they're as heavy and they don't pull as much. And some people that doesn't matter. I like to pull long trains. And generally, you're going to team them up. You're going to, consist them with something else. And most likely, if you're going to run a long train, it's not going to generally be just one locomotive, I don't think. And I don't know. I like them in pairs. Tail to tail pairs. I had some luck with like mid units, tailing units, but let's see. What is that about? Go back, I must have missed something. 60s. Sorry guys, I'm going to go back. By the way, is the volume, has it gotten any better? Is it still crappy with hearing me? I'm still cutting in and out, in and out. And Jason, how do I make him a moderator? Well, I'm going to have an issue here. Maybe John a moderator. Went to the 3 stars, that don't work. There are 3 dots. The star, I don't know if the star makes you a moderator or if the star just makes you a favorite or something. I don't know what that does. Straight out stuff. Right click on it. I didn't try that. Let me try that. Let me go find them first. Page, there's a QR code. No, nothing that says make moderator. Hey, Joe. Gene, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Oh, Robert has one. Did I buy that one Wow Sound off from you? I don't know if it was Wow Sound. I think it was just TCS decoder I put in that little switcher. It's a sound decoder. If that's the case, then that'd be the only TCS I have. And so I don't know if that's a good comparison with anything else. But again, I like the low sound, whatever you call it. I like the Wow Sound. I haven't used it yet, obviously, but I like how they sell the whole like kit, like specific to that level more, like basically a drop and go kind of thing. You take the old stuff up, pop the new one in, do your soldering, and you're done. It fits in, specific to the make and model, so it makes it easier to install. No, I think it might have just been a TCS. Not Wow Sound. I think it might have just been a plain old decoder I bought. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while back, a couple years. In fact, this is one of the shittiest locomotives I have. I don't think it's because of the decoder. I think it's an old blue box and it just needs some work. So. Yeah, that's kind of cool too. Yeah, for the TCS Wow Sound. Hi, Simon the Runaway Enthusiast. Thanks for stopping in. John Beniki. How are you, bud? John's. Yeah. There's a lot of Johns in this hobby. I don't know. There's quite a few of us Daves too, honestly. There's only one Heath. One Heath. I don't know if he's still in here or not. All right, well, John, I want to add you. And I cannot. Whatever damn reason. Let me see if I lose you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see how sound speakers. Right. Let's see if that works. All right. See, I don't know if that'll actually link up. It might. But there's the, I believe it looks like that is the site. Is that the site, Dave? John? See, too many Johns, too many Daves. Hi, Dave's Trains. Somebody said Dave's Trains, sorry. Oh, boy. So that out there for a little bit if you guys want to look. It might click as a link. I don't know if it will or not. I just copy and paste it up real quick. me try something, guys. I don't know if this will work or not. There, did that come up? Shit. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Okay. This is aftermarket drop-in speaker systems. That's it. Okay, cool. I check that out. I have some locomotives that are non-sound that I do want to add sound decoders to. So a lot of times when you buy decoders, they don't come with the speakers. So this might be a nice way to try that out. I actually have a -9 scale trains. It just has the 21-pin decoder for just the motor, PCC. You know, it doesn't have sound. So I want to maybe add a sound decoder to that. I was thinking about going with putting like a Tsunami or something in that model, just for comparison. Problem is, I don't know how well it will. I shouldn't say that. I could speed match. I'm capable. But like all these scale trains I've bought, I know I keep like scale trains. But in all reality, I don't know if you buy different, like from different batches, but anything I've bought together, I haven't had to do no speed matching to any of it. Any of it. So that's a plus. I don't know if that's just a fluke, you know, or not, but what, it saves a lot of time. Sometimes that speed matching really gets you. Depending how particular you are. Like when I was tearing down the old layout, after I tore down the old layout, I was just tinkering, bored. I had a section of track, and I was actually taking my speed tunnel, trying to max them up every mile an hour, which is like super like ridiculous to even attempt. It just doesn't make sense to even do so, but oh, cool. But just for fun. I got very close. I ended up going up about every 10 miles an hour. It was too hard. Like the lower end, like between 1 and 10, I was able to get pretty close as I got faster. Yeah. And that's what I found out too, Todd. Yeah, who was asking about that? Speakers, I have some other speakers, but I need a file. 3D Brew. Yeah. In fact, I never did use those speakers. You sent me that link and I bought them. I haven't, and then right after that I tore everything down and I never did get to use those. But yeah, I mean, I gotta find half of my crap. But yeah, they didn't come with the enclosure, so we were gonna have to kind of rig something up out of styrene or whatever. I mean, definitely doable. American Flyer, S-scale trains. How are you? Yeah, a bunch of speakers. How do they sound? In comparison, in your opinion, to like Wow Sound and Tsunami and ESU? I mean, the speakers themselves, I guess it wouldn't be the decoder itself necessarily, it would be the speaker that you use. And I guess the file too. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. Let me know what you want for me. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. You're welcome in here, you know. If I don't catch you, it don't mean I don't like you. I just sometimes I miss as things go through the chat. So if I don't say hi, it doesn't always mean anything negative. You know, you just don't always see everything. You have to go back. So some speakers drop in. They're always perfect as that. And good to know. I'm going to give them a shot. I think. Once I decide what I want to put them in, you know. I have a couple of. I know guys aren't big fans of Bachman. I do have my one locomotive that's actually painted up for the Crooked River Eastern Railroad. Is a Bachman GP7. Kind of a little older than I would probably that you start over, Dave. Probably a little older than what you would see on a short line or something today if you're running modern. So, you know, I am probably going to go with some kind of Jeep something or another, something a little more modern, GP40 or I don't know. You guys tell me what's a little bit more modern that would be old enough that a short line would, you know, still be running around a yard or as a local. All right, Jason, man, I appreciate you stopping in, buddy. Have a good day. I never did call you, by the way. Well, we were going to talk about that locomotive and the tsunami sound, I think is why I wanted to talk to you. I'll get on you later or something. I mean, you're always welcome in anytime you just throw up a comment and, you know, questions. I do have both of those, as well as the, what is it? I don't know the number. It's the police unit, law enforcement unit. I bought all three at the same time. You don't know, man. My wife thought I won the lottery or something because when I saw that they Scout Trains decided to make those units, yeah, I was giddy. It was crazy because I was seriously getting ready to hit the buy button on those MTH ones, and I hate to knock MTH. For what I've heard, they're really good for like O-scale and that, but their electronics and stuff I've never heard anything good about. Okay, Dave's Trains, great to have you in. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate that. Oh, Chesco. I just thought I saw him there. There he is. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I thought they still had some. Maybe they don't now. Maybe we'll find some of the manufacturers, you know, like the dealers maybe still have some. I'm sure you've looked around if you really wanted them. Todd, they're supposed to announce on the 29th, I think, a 4-axle. What it's going to be, I have no idea, obviously. I'm interested myself to see. Actually, if they do make something, you know, on a GP40 or something that I might be able to buy it'd be nice if they made an undecorated one. Wow, I did not talk. If they were to buy an undecorated, make an undecorated one, I might consider buying that and then paint it for the River Eastern. All right, John. Thanks, pal. Always appreciate you stopping in, supporting the channel. Yeah, you know, you probably could find some of those Spirit units on eBay, but you guys think they have a pot of gold that they're trying to sell every time on eBay. So, yeah, see. I have looked getting pretty good deals through Lombard Hobbies. That's who I bought these Waller's mainline through. Iron Planet. He's a little more limited on that kind of stuff, I think, but I've gotten good deals from him. Use Heath's code human, 10% discount. I don't know of any. Does anybody know of any Lombard Hobby discount codes? Or Spring Creek might have something. Maybe their dealer. Midwest Monorail. I usually use the DG Model Works code for them. They're 5% off on that. I think Eric Hall has a code too out there. IMMRO Railroad or something. I don't know. I always get his thing backwards. 30, I heard that's his favorite local essential. Peter said they're making the other essential for actual. Well, I'll be okay with you before. That'd be more money I gotta spend now. Damn it. But again, I wouldn't mind getting one that is a undecorated model too, so I can paint it up. Go back on the speakers. I have a few locomotives that's a Bachmann, a GP7 that's a Crooked River Eastern paint scheme, and I have two F7 Baltimore, Ohio Bachmanns. And I'd like to add sound to them. Those F7s are going to be an excursion train. Yeah, they're not the most detailed. They run pretty good though. Naturally, it's not natural. I mean, you can't just get a couple of road numbers, and you don't remember what ones you have, and the next time you see them, you don't remember which ones you got and which ones you still need. I don't think it works that way, Todd. Just taking the trains back. I'm surprised they don't have some kind of code. They're pretty good to deal with, anyways. Shipping's pretty. They're not any worse than anywhere else. Model train stuff, maybe MTS. Maybe might have something to look at. And they don't have a code that I know of either. Wish they did. Yeah, I mean, there's so many companies out there. Otter Valley up in Canada, but I don't know what the shipping would be down here in the States. Yeah, I agree. Even if it's more, I'd like it to be more of like a road, what would be a road switcher, you know, is what I'm trying to get to paint my scheme. And I don't know what that is. I mean, it's like grass. Hybrid. You probably limited, obviously. I don't know what the hybrid part means. Now, Scout Trains did buy the, what do you call it? Prints, whatever, the molds and stuff for MTH and DTO and I think some of the Brew stuff. So I would assume over the next several years they're going to be putting out, you know, 4 axles, different types. Probably steam, I would assume. Guys are really chomping at the bit for them to do steam. And if they get MTH is always supposed to be pretty good, and I know the road scale stuff is good. From what I've heard, I would assume that they would do. Steam as well. So, boy, that's gonna be a beautiful locomotive. I've heard good things on their steam. You know, I have 2 diesels, an AC6000 and an ES44, I think it is, and they have smoke units in them. They're pretty neat. I don't know. They leave a little bit to be desired. I don't know. I came in at a time, I came in at a time where scale trains was just kind of coming in. And I don't want to say taking over the market, but making a name for themselves in the market. and it's when I started back into the hobby. So I, kind of fell in love with them. And if there's something I look for things. I look to buy from them first if there's something out there, because I know they'll run together well. I know they'll pull well. They're pretty durable. Unless you drop them off the layout like we did. Still sick with that one. Yeah. Now on the Steam models, John, can you buy them as like a DCC ready? I know nothing about Steam, and so forgive me on that. Stop buying from Monorail stuff when they close the retail store. I got like 5 miles from it now. Like $20 a ship. Yeah. Yeah, I get that, Joe. And I get shipping is what it is. It's always kind of one of those things with me, though. I hate paying shipping, and I hate when places are ridiculous about their shipping. How does one place charge you $7, $8, $9 for the same item? And it's not like it's traveling much further or any further, and somebody else wants $15, $16 to ship it or more. Okay. And that'd be kind of fun. I always kind of thought it'd be neat to have like an outside like garden railroad with G scale. But we're talking about breaking the bank, man. And going back to Joe with the model train stuff, it kind of stinks because I'll find some good deals on there every now and again. But then by the time you add the shipping in, it's not a good deal anymore. Because I know you probably shouldn't count shipping in the price of the item, but I tend to do that to see if it's worth it or not. I don't have any hobby stores nearby, so I kind of have to get my stuff from online, which is fine. It just sometimes I think they try to make up for the sale by the shipping. And I could be wrong, but I feel that way sometimes. That's what made eBay charge a fee on shipping before. Selling items cheaper, making shipping $50. So was eBay? I haven't bought it much on eBay lately. So does eBay set their own fee? What do you mean by that, Todd? Our trains are shutting down? Like closing all together, like the website and everything? Check out my train store, American Flyer, let's get that. Classic. This will say trains or trans? Transport, transportation, what is that? Did you miss the I in there, or is that correct? Well, eBay's got just ridiculous in general. I don't even sell on there anymore. If I sell something, I just sell on Facebook or whatever. What are some of the other good model stores or online stores that you guys know? Name some of the ones I've gone with. Classic trains. Okay, I wondered if you missed the I in there. So. Let's see here. That here. Fix that there. And that's why I wanted a clarification. But I was thinking more like transport, you know what I mean? That's how I'm gonna go with it. So I'm gonna share that. Not that one. This one. There you go. American Flyer and S-Scale Trains. Here's his site. I put the link there as well. Give him a look. Let's see what he's got there. Duca, Kentucky. Is this the correct website there? I'll take a look at that later on. I'm just playing around, guys, now. Classic Trains and Products. Was this the right website that I put up there? Ooh, that's a nice, if anybody's looking for a shelf layout, if he's selling that, man, you need to hit up John. If you guys haven't looked at that, you need to go ahead and look at that. All right, Todd, get some sleep, man. Thanks for stopping in, man. Always fun busting chops with you. Go Bucks. Todd lives up in Michigan, so it's the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry thing. Excuse me, between him and I. More of a, whatever it is, what it is. That's not that deep. You know what I mean? But we like busting each other's chops about it. What do you think? Bill Harris. Okay, did I miss your answer? Was that actually the website that I posted up here for Classic Trains? I don't want to advertise for something that isn't Facebook. I do have Facebook. It's the Cripple River and Eastern. There's a Facebook page. I have like a group on there. I mean, I'm on there too. Just my name. Where is he? Rick's in here somewhere? Who let that guy in? Let's see. Good morning, folks. Oh, folks. Never mind. I'm not quiet. Hey, Jerry. I was thinking Fultz. Fultz Bailey Railroad. You spelled it. I'm going blind. And go blow. Go blow. Oh boy. I'm gonna go to I gotta clean the laundry room. We finally decided it was time to replace our I don't know, 20-something-year-old dryer and washer. They're 23, 24 years old. So we did that. So they're coming today to deliver those. And my God, prices. That's how you know you're getting old. Everything's expensive now. But yeah, so they're coming today. I gotta move a bunch of stuff out of the laundry room. Get that, so they have room to hook up the new stuff. We'll see how that goes. Home Depot didn't charge, the delivery's free to get you on the removal. A little bit. Yeah, John, it's just ridiculous, man. And we didn't go like, it was like Samsung. Well, we bought now. But these are like Maytag. No, Kenmore's is what I've had now. We got married, bought our house. We had like hand-me-downs from somebody that, I don't know, they passed away or they moved and they bought a new shed or whatever. So we got their old washer and dryer. So within the first 3 years of being married, I think we had to replace them both because they were already old. But it was something that started with, we replaced one and then the other in about a year of each other. And we've had them ever since. We've been married over 26 years now. So, we got a good probably 23 years out of them, somewhere in that range. So I can't complain. We've had some repairs over the years, but it's got to the point. Yeah, good job. Wash tub and clothesline. We could put up a clothesline in the summer. We'll like hang blankets and stuff like that on it. I know. That's what I told my wife. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money I can be spending on trains. A lot of money. And we bought them on my birthday last Saturday. I'm like, how the hell is this a birthday present for me? Ah. Joking, of course. I can't complain. She outdid herself for birthdays this year. In the video I just posted, you see the paint racks. Those are pretty cool. I like those. I think I'm actually going to order a couple more of those. Another straight and another 45. 45 has the slots for the airbrush bottles. So I really like that. And then the other two have the bigger holes for these kind of bottles. Anyways, then the backdrop. That backdrop was expensive, man. And I bought 320 feet of backdrop. So she paid for probably half of that. So, what brand? You mean the washer and dryer? I want to say they're Samsung. I think. They were at Home Depot. She liked that champagne color they got out now. So we went with that. I just want a white, so I don't care. Whatever you want. The funny thing is, I do more laundry than she does, really. We went with, so many of them don't have agitators anymore, And, but I'm like old school with that. I don't see how that's cleaning anything without the agitator. So we went with one that had the agitator, and it was like more of a large capacity. I know. There's so many options. She's heard so many like horror stories about the front loading washer, so we got a top loader instead of a front loader. The dryer is a front loader, but the washer is the old school top loader. They're nice machines, but we have a gas dryer, so that was an extra $100 for gas. So $6 something a piece, $6.50-ish or so on sale. And there was really no other options that were any less. Everything was around that $6.50 and up per unit, And by the time you add in like if you want them to install, I had to buy new gas lines, new dryer vents, things like that, because they won't install. I could have done it myself, but I don't mess up with gas. I figured it. Hopefully they know what the hell they're doing. It will be challenging. But they won't install your old lines. We bought them Saturday, they're coming today. So not even a week. From my Home Depot anyways. So that's now on for delivery. They're supposed to be here between 1 and 5, I believe, is what the phone call I got yesterday said. It's not a bad price. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, my son got me. He's 101st Airborne, and he got me a couple shirts for Christmas. And a jacket said U.S. Army on it, and so yeah. Now, like with our couches, we bought couches like last summer, and spring, and we ended up buying a mismatched pair, which is fine. We don't care. They match color-wise and everything, just different like styles. They work together well. But if we would have waited for like a matching love seat to the couch we bought, they said we're going to estimate 6 months, probably more, maybe a year, just to get that. It's coming from Vietnam or something. But nothing's made here. Coming from over there somewhere. With COVID, because everything's COVID now. You know, we got nobody working. We get started on that shit, man. SCOTUS defends everybody else's First Amendment rights, but if you're a medical worker or anything, you don't have any rights. As far as this vaccine shit goes. That's a whole nother rant. Yeah, Jerry, I guess it's not a bad price. We haven't really needed to look for a washer or dryer. We bought a refrigerator a couple years ago because that died. That was a hand-me-down. So, you know, my mother-in-law bought a new refrigerator, and I don't know, 5, maybe 10 years ago, we got her old refrigerator. It was still pretty decent shape. Wow. Yeah, that year they're having all sorts of troubles getting stuff, especially furniture, and that people have a lot of trouble getting furniture. So, yeah, it's insane. Is Westinghouse still in Ohio? But they're by Toledo or somewhere out that way. Or they shut that plant down. That's awesome for $1,200 each. You know, you wanted to get really fancy and stuff, but you know, that's one thing. My wife, I love her to death. She's never been somebody who has been materialistic. I'm probably more materialistic than she is, to be honest. Never been somebody who had to have like. She's more functional than the bells and whistles. She likes some of that stuff, but she's fine as long as it's gonna work right. And she's. I mean, it was at my local Home Depot. I think the sale was going on through January, I think. They had a lot of them on sale there, but most of the models that were like a larger capacity. I don't know what the capacity is now. Was it 5 something? Don't quote me on that. Just said large capacity. Was around that 650, and it might be a little lower. It was not 700. It was 650 to 700 in that range that we paid. I'd have to look at the receipt. I don't know. By the time it was all said and done, I was like, oh, crap. How did it get that high? Because like I said, we paid for removal, we paid for installation, which was like $25 to remove each. I think $25 to install each of them. Because the hoses are old, I just said, yeah, buy new hoses for the washer, buy a new vent for the dryer, and they made me buy a new gas line if I wanted them to install it, because they would not use your old lines, probably because of liabilities, like your line maybe is messed up, so they don't, you know, whatever. And depending how fancy we go, yeah. Now, thankfully, my kitchen isn't really big, so I couldn't really go with like a big refrigerator. So it's pretty basic. When it's all said and done, it's pretty basic. So, well, we still probably spent $1,000 on it, and it's not huge because I don't have the room for it. And this is a couple of years ago too, so it's before all this stuff went up and the inflation and everything else. Yeah. And the thing of it is, this is what I almost hate to get rid of this washer and dryer because it's lasted so long. But the problem is we're having trouble getting parts and stuff to fix it now. The last time we had to repair the drums, and with the drum, he was like, man, I don't know, man, I had to really hunt these parts down, so. But, where was I going? I don't know that they last. I've heard horror stories about these things, dying out after a few years. So we bought, and that's another thing, I added a 3-year warranty on top of the 1-year warranty, so that added to the cost, the removal fee, the installation fee, the gas line, the dryer vent, the hoses, all that added up, so I added probably an extra $300 on top of the cost, so it's, probably around 18, 12. I think it was around 1,800 for the 2 units, like out the door, tax and everything. She did give us. We had she gave us like $100 off. She kicked the gas dryer down to the electric dryer price. For some reason, I can't remember why. The lady was super cool. We had a coupon, I think, from when we bought the refrigerator, but it was $100 off of a purchase of over 300 or 500 or some shit like that. And I think it was expired by like a month, or maybe 6 months even. So she worked her magic and was able to get us the $100 off. So I kicked the dryer back down to the cost of the electric dryer. Yeah, I know, man. I know, Jerry. That's why I've been holding off for as long as we probably should have done this 5 years ago or more even. But I could have. I chose not to. I'm not even complaining about the installation cost. That's what it is. Like you said, I could have installed them myself. It's not like I can't. I just chose not to. So I'm not even complaining about that. I'm really not even complaining about. It sounds like I am, but even the cost apparently wasn't as bad as you guys are saying. But just wasn't an expense I really wanted to spend. But it's okay. Nothing you gonna do. I'd say, well, at least we're set now on that. But like you guys said, they don't last like the old ones. Try to talk to the wife and let me put a mini fridge down here. So I'll drink more water if there's water bottles down here in the refrigerator. She talks about how much coffee I drink, She knows better than that. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so it wouldn't be a beer fridge, it'd be something. Iced tea and water. So, but anyways, yeah, John, if you sell that shelf layout, somebody ought to. Obviously I don't have any. I don't think I have a use for it. But that'd be nice, like, for somebody to just buy that. I was talking about it earlier. I think I was saying to you, just how awesome it looks with the background. We were talking about, back drops and then background buildings and so on and so forth. And just said you did an awesome job on that with yours. But I didn't, I don't know if I asked you or I just didn't see your answer. In the new house that you guys bought, are you going to be able to have a dedicated actual layout room? Are you not interested in having like a larger layout, around the room kind of stuff? Um, are you happy with just doing I shouldn't say just, because that looked like it was a lot of fun switching that out and everything. Very hospital. Okay. But you did such nice work on that, John. Just your attention to details and stuff, scenery work and that. I'm impressed by it. I'm sure others are too. But I think you did great work. I'm hoping to get better at those skills. Scenery, I don't do terrible with it, but there's a lot of guys out there better. Get a price. They got a scratchy deck, $700 more than a brand new. Really? That's crazy. Now they did tell me to make sure I take a good look these over when they deliver them too, and make sure there's no damage, because if there isn't, I'm willing to accept the damage, scratches or whatever. Maybe they'll cut it a little bit off. Oh, you're welcome, John. Larger version of what I did on this one. Okay. Is it going to be where you can run trains around, like the rail fan in the layout, or is it strictly going to be for switching in operations? Yeah. You're talking about your old layout. Yeah, I mean, it would be basically throw the legs on it and pop it up and pretty much go. That's why, not to that age yet, but going back to the snowstorm in the winter and stuff, I would love to have a place like in Florida or something like that for the winter times. But I wouldn't be able to have my layout. I don't think I'd want to sell the house altogether. But then again, maybe we go back and forth, the wife and I. There's sometimes we want to just get out of here and move, and then there's other times where we're like, yeah, we like it here, but we would just like to get out for the winter time. Like leave after Christmas and go down to April or something. So something like that, John. This is what, long story longer, that would be something that would be awesome to be able to be portable enough, take it with me, so wherever we stay, it would be something I could play around with while I'm down there. Plus, there's enough guys I know now in Florida that I can go hang out with Jim Tedesco at the Sugar Shack, or hey Fred, how you doing, buddy? James is back. He said, back now. Here's Sparky's house. Say hi to Sparky for us. I would like your option. Continuous run with the lift up remove operations. Yeah. That's what I was trying to, and whether I'm able to actually do what I want to do here, we'll see. Time will tell. I'd like to sit here in rail fan, but I wanted to make sure I can get into operations with this railroad. The last one, I didn't have things set up as well for operations. Hopefully that's going to be better this time. Hey Steve, that's okay, man. Thanks for stopping in anyways. Saying hi. So I'm trying to get the best of both worlds. And Joe, I kind of get that. By the time I'm able to move, this house will be paid off. So by the time I get old enough to retire or semi-retire, this will be paid for. And as long as my neighborhood stays good like it is now, I really don't need to go anywhere. I mean, if it turns into some kind of like war zone or something, then that's another story. I want to feel safe where I live, like I do now. Problem is, it gets to be a lot of work, even at 50 years old. You know, it's a little more work than it was at 40 years old, taking care of a house. You know? So, and not to sound old and decrepit, I'm not really. I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel pretty good for 50. Yeah, to be really honest. We're already in a meeting, Steve. John, you're not wrong. We lived in the one house we had for 10 years, 10, 11 years. Her father passed away. Instead of moving her mom in with us, she had a bigger house and we had the 2 young kids. So we moved in with her. And she got remarried and moved out. So she ended up selling that house. We moved into another house. Then moved into another one after that. So in the span of less than 5 years, probably, we moved like 3 times. And hey, Jeff Pennington, how are you? That was smart. That was smart. Do you have young kids now, or still planning on having more? Go back to no kids. Oh, there you go. Answer my question before I even asked it. So now, do you have like a basement space for the layout, or are you taking one of those bedrooms or loft area, or what are you doing? Sorry, I'm being nosy. Where do you are you in Florida, Jen? Where do you live at? I forgot. So many of you guys are down that way. February 26th. We're going to be in Florida from the 25th or the 28th. We're leaving on the 25th. Well, that's right there. Okay. So one of those bedrooms or the garage or something, unless you're going to build a shed. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how far you are from Sebring, where Jim Tedesco lives, but I'm trying to work it out with him now to meet up with him, head up to the sugar shack there where he calls it his, he calls the layout room the sugar shack. So I want to meet up with what you guys. To live down in the Florida area, I don't know. I mean, I know Florida's a big state, so it's not like you're going just across town. So trains and workspace. So that's good. Until you start having kids, and then you lose your training room to your kids. Yeah. Been renting this home for a few years now, loving it. Hopefully more after okay. Yeah, for another 10+ years. Yeah. I get that, man. And there's days I'm like, let me get out of here. The season changes. I like them until you get to winter. I don't hate winter. I actually like the snow. I don't want 2 feet of snow and 1 storm. Huh. Well, I'd love to meet any of you guys that are down there. I'd love to meet up with you. We just meet somewhere in between. I'm probably going to head over to his house just to check it out. I don't know if we're going to go somewhere, maybe Rail Fan, John, or, there is Robert Sacco. He lives in Largo, and he is the president of the Suncoast Monorail Club, and they do their operations and stuff on Saturday nights. So last time I went down to see, one of the last times I went down, I met up with him and his dad. We went to the Tampa area, Rail Fan around there. Then at night we went over to the Monorail Club and hung out there. And our friends live in Lakewood Ranch, I think it was called. Lakewood Ranch. It's near Bradenton, I guess. Sort of Bradenton area. So I feel like, according to MapQuest, now what I am, Google Maps, it says it's like 90 minutes from Sarasota area to Sebring. So they said I could use the car whenever I wanted. So for Saturday, try to hit him up early and spend a day doing things, hanging out, Maybe do some rail fanning and stuff. So, I think he was going to talk to maybe Tom. Tom's Trains and Things. I think he's met up with him before. So we'll see. I tend to like. I guess I want to say I know a lot of you guys through here, and you guys live in Florida. I talk to a lot of you guys through, YouTube and such. And so I'm coming down. Up here, maybe we can all meet up, hang out, grab a bite. I don't know. Do some rail fanning, maybe. Yeah. Well, congratulations on all your success, James. I think we just had something in the mail saying ours was worth 190,000. But keep in mind, where I live here, you could buy a house that's, I don't know, 3,000 square feet. It'd still be, $500,000 or less. It'd be a nice big house, Well, I don't know what it's now, but before all this market stuff went crazy. Like James, my house and where you live, or my house in California, I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a bungalow. It's about 1,500 square feet roughly. Like say in California, I've seen the same houses. It's been some years back now, going for like 700,000. Same style, same size out there. Then it cost of living difference, So I don't know how you guys did any kind of building houses. Joe G did too in Arizona, and the cost of lumber just skyrocketing, man. I don't know how you guys did. Like you said, $75,000 difference. Now, I don't know if that was the change orders on you guys' end, or if it's just the cost of lumber and materials just skyrocketed. I mean, hell, when I started building this thing, the most I spent on a sheet of 4x8, 15, 30 seconds plywood was $69 or $65, somewhere in that range. Then it went all the way down to $31 the last batch I bought. I was just there buying this washer and dryer. I always check the price when I go. It was back up to like $45. Oh yeah, see, there you go. So what was it? Just different upgrades and things that you made? That you went up on the cost, or what? That happens. Nickel and dime here and there, we'll go with this tile. It's a little more, but we'll go with it, You figure you're going to be in the house, you're going to have a 30-year mortgage, you're going to spread it out, or I'm assuming you're going to have a 30-year mortgage. So what the hell? So like I said, should by the time I'm 60, 62 have this house paid for. I'd like to pay it off a little earlier. Oh, that's true. Yeah, like flyover country if you want to get. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant your cost of building it went up that amount. I'm sure it did if you weren't locked in on the price. I'm sure it went up a considerable amount, like to sign a contract to build it now compared to when you got locked into your contract. That's what I thought you meant. Yeah, $1.49 a liter. 4 liters in a gallon, is that right? It's about right around $3, a little over a gallon here. Costco, where I go, I'm getting a little bit cheaper. It's right under $3, $2.89, somewhere in that range is what I paid last week. Last Thursday, I think it was. But most everywhere else is at $3 to $3.15 a gallon in my area. And generally my cost of living, our cost of living here, this area of Ohio anyways, is a little less than a lot of other areas in the country, but it's getting more and more expensive too. And then it ain't getting any cheaper. Inflation's through the roof. Can't keep printing money. But you're in Texas or something, right? Jeff, you up in Canada too? Jeff Pennington? Or Jeff Pennington in Elkhorn Valley River. I don't know if your last name is Pennington. I'm calling you Jeff Pennington like that's your last name. $3 in Maryland, $3.09 at BJ's, Southern Maryland. Oh yeah, I'm Nebraska. There you go, Cornhuskers. $4.50 a gallon. My God. Way to shut down them pipelines, Joe. Dumbass. I've never seen somebody so stupid in my life. Anyways. $4.50 a gallon. My saving grace is that my wife works from home now, so she doesn't really go anywhere most days. I literally work a mile from the hospital. I live a mile from the hospital. So, other than the running around we do, maybe on the weekends and stuff, pretty much. Saves us on the gas. We don't burn it up as much. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's not the showstopper as much as it is the politics and legislation around the showstopper. Can't continue to pay people to stay home from work and shit like that. Well, I try to keep this politics free. I mean, I don't like talking about like housing and some of the pricing. I don't want to get into politics because I just get angry. Bread and milk are hard to find, Anthony. Yeah, shows are starting to get bare around here too. I think anyhow. I think any surplus that was kind of hanging around has pretty much been used up. Yeah, Otter Creek it's a slippery subject for sure, man. John, you're an hour and a half from work going to Western. That's not too bad. So my wife, like I said, when my wife went to work, my wife works from home. When she had to go to the office before, she was 5 days a week at the office. When this all happened, they kept everybody home, and then they decided everybody basically voted to either stay home all the time or go back to work all the time. There was no happy medium. She would have been fine going in a couple of days a week and working from home the rest of the week. That's what she wanted. That's what she was voting for if they would have had it. Anyways, even when she did go into the office, she was 5 to 10 miles at the most from work. She's at 2 exits up the highway, and they're, it took her maybe 10 minutes to get to work. It's all affecting the damn train economy because you can't get anything. I just heard one of the biggest ports in China is closed down. Or, that's what I heard, but it's true, I don't know. But going back to that, James, all the costs, they've gone up. They're going to continue to go up. Just shipping costs in general. And all these companies, and especially these Monorail companies, we're going to have to eat the cost. Going back to scale trains, I mean, the same locomotive I was buying for $250 for a rivet counter last year or a couple years ago is, $289, almost $300. The same exact locomotive. And Athens worse. They were already up there, 280 something, before this. Just leave her at home, never go back to the office, wife's commuting. I like how you have to say normal sick, because there's normal sick and there's COVID cold. You have the cold and the COVID cold. I had the COVID cold. And again, not to sound like a jerk, but thankfully it was cold-like symptoms and nothing more serious. I know it can be serious. Trust me, I know. I work in the field. I'm around it every day. And I don't even know how it's going with. Oh, you can't even cough in public anymore. People look at you like you got some disease because you coughed or you sneezed. This media got the world just friggin' freaking out over everything. Oh, no doubt. And no, as I'm saying, I'm grateful I only had like a cold. But at the same time, people that were more at risk for anything were just affected worse. I mean, a lot of the people that did pass from COVID, many of them had, and they've even admitted, the CDC has admitted this, it's people who have had 3-4 comorbidities before getting COVID either died or had a long way back. So, absolutely. I'm a recovery room nurse. But thankfully, we don't get as much exposure to it as they do like in the ICUs and such. But we do get exposure to it. For the care issues, close to as you can get, she get the test. It's very real. Absolutely. No, like I said, I don't mean to sound like I don't think it's a thing. I think it's something we're going to have to live with. I don't think these vaccines are working. They can say all they want. People are still getting it. People are still spreading it. Whatever boosters you get, it's going to just be it mutates. It's going to be like the flu does. The flu shot every year is a crapshoot as to what strain is going to actually hit us. Yes, I agree. I felt very tired and stuff for a while. A couple of weeks, anyways. So anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah. Let me just say one last thing. My opinion comes from, I've seen it, I've been around it. My family has basically all had it, myself included. Our experience with it has been pretty mild overall. Okay, so my viewpoint on it maybe is going to be different. It will be different than somebody who has had somebody pass from it, somebody who's had it and been very sick with it, somebody who's been on a ventilator, somebody's survived but it had a long road, a hard road. I know people whose like parents didn't pass, but it was a rough time, rough way back. So people's experiences are going to obviously shape their opinions. So there's that. Back to trains. You know, and Fred, I agree with that. I generally, because I've thought about buying like this DCC ready versions, but then when you look at it, by the time you buy the DCC with sound or the sound decoder and then install it yourself, you could have just bought it already installed most of the time, depending on what kind of locomotive you buy. Like I said, I have a lot of scale trains, so to buy a DCC ready, by the time I turn around and buy the issue loc sound, if that's what I'm going to go with, from scale trains, and install it myself, I'm at the same cost. Or sometimes I think it was even a little bit more. I might have saved a few bucks, but I still have to do the install myself. I'm capable, but why not just, for a few bucks extra, I just buy the DCC ready. I mean, a DCC and sound already installed. Locomotive-wise, I do like the extra details. So I do usually buy the rivet counters. I do have a couple operator SD40-2s that I've weathered up that I have not sold off. I sold off a lot of my operators, put that money towards rivet counters. It's been a while back now. But, you know, there have been some deals I've seen on other brands that, you know, I thought about picking up and putting a decoder in, but then, you know, yes, I do agree with you there. Yeah. I'm not anti-vaccine. I am anti-mandate, if you guys care to know. All right, John, thanks for stopping in. Sorry, I kind of turned a little political there. I don't want this show to be that. I think we're all, no matter what our views or politics are, this is a hobby that is an awesome hobby that has brought us together, if you will. Most of us have never met just through this stuff. We're all able to enjoy each other's railroads, comments, just time through the internet, through YouTube and other venues like this. And I love that. And that's why I want to keep it about, and that's what this show is. Kind of a little bit about anything you want to talk about, but I do try to stay away from the politics ends of it, just because, you know, I don't want to make enemies. I really don't. So, yeah, we do get off subject with the cost of things because it does affect the hobby with shipping and that. So, unfortunately, sometimes it kind of goes that way. Let's see, there's a comment. Pursue economical path of DC Cato's Excel system sound comes 45th memory sound good enough. Yeah. But Jeff, your N scale, is that right? So you got some. There's some. When I was looking at the Amtrak, I ended up buying a. Is it a B-42? That Amtrak locomotive. It's an Athearn Genesis. Got it for a pretty good price. It was around, I think I paid about $250 for it. Pretty good price, I guess. But I was looking at the Cato units, and they were DC units. And I was looking up how to install DCC, and it just looked like a little more I wanted to get into at the time. I think they had like separate drives or something like that. They must have been like older units because they were only going for like in 130, 140 range. So I mean, if I could have got a DCC decoder, you know, I could have still, if I felt comfortable doing it, I could have had it, you know, less than $200. I could have had, you know, a nice locomotive there. I just didn't feel comfortable installing that. Okay. The XL, is that like an off-brand or something, or what are they? eBay, yeah. You do have to really read and look at pictures and look at the ranking and ratings on the sellers and stuff like that. Facebook Marketplace, I had decent luck. You still got to watch because, you got to go off of the pictures and you got to take people's words on it. Unless I'm a friend of yours or you're a friend of mine, or I've bought multiple times from you, I never do friends and family. I always do these goods and services. Been a couple of times I've had to file a claim. I've gotten my money back both times. Like I didn't get the item that I ordered. It never came. Could get a runaround, this and that, So you can get screwed, but if you pay with PayPal, goods and services, I've had luck with that. And I've always gotten my money refunded. It's just a pain in the neck. Okay, well, there you go. A little public service announcement there from Jeff. I don't know who that is, but there's guys like that in HO skill too. So yeah, I don't trust Facebook either. That's a whole other story. Yeah. Facebook Berkshire. Okay. Again, it's another thing too. If I buy from somebody, you see them on there a lot, and if I buy from somebody and I have good luck with them, I kind of keep them in mind next time I see a post. I don't think I bought much like locomotive wise from Facebook. I had a couple guys sell things out from underneath me. They say, yeah, it's yours, and then they'll get back to you. They're like, okay, we'll give me your PayPal number or whatever, to pay you. And then they wait, and next thing you know, oh, that's sold just as you said you wanted it. Okay, well, whatever, buddy. They're more like their own store there, trains. I've gotten some things from them before. Right. Hey, Randall. No comment, Joe. No comment. Micro engineering yard ladder. What is the deal with the micro engineering yard ladder? Is it they just like a shorter system so they don't take as much space? Is it better than the Picos? Pico turnouts? That's how I use Pico. I got a couple Atlas. I'll take that back. Atlas curved turnouts. But everything else on this layout is Picos. I use code 100. That's what I started out with. And to switch everything over to 83, which I kind of wanted to, but I'm like, oh man, I got so much I wanted to buy so much, I would get pennies on the dollar for all these Picos because they're used and they're in good shape, but they're used, and try to sell it on Facebook or something like that or eBay. Nobody's gonna want to pay full price for any of that stuff. So anyhow, I stuck with the Code 100. I'll get that frog juice first. I haven't had trouble. I use the insult frogs, but I don't really feel like I've had any trouble. But I wire up on all sides of my terminals. I think quality control is slipping everywhere. People have been complaining about these Atlas curve turnouts too. In fact, I had to repair a little something. I think something came loose on the points. I had to fix that when I'm only used one so far. I think I have another right hand and a left hand that I want for the upper level. So I haven't really looked at it yet. Stroke two. You saying you need a hobby shop in the U.S. that sells plastic, or are you asking if anybody needs to know of one? I have no idea where my coins engineering is made. I know Pico's like from England or something. At least the company is. I don't know where they make it at. I think they do make it in England. I think their plant is there. Pico. Don't quote me though. Just want to watch a video on that once. Yeah, I don't know about Plastra, but well, I got the 5% code on Yankee Dabbler. And Iron Planet has the human Heath's code, human. Mine is CR&E, as you guys know. So maybe you find what you're complaining, at least get a little discount on top of that to cover some of your shipping. Of course, Iron Planet was doing free shipping. I don't know if they're still doing it or if it's just because of the human code that you get the free shipping. I don't know what, but. Is that why he doesn't like his ladder? John says microengineering is made in Missouri. Is that what you meant, microengineering? James T4 says there's a dealer distributor list on the Plastra website. So if you check into that, or not, give that a shot. That's all racks. Here again, I'll spend the money on locomotives. I can't justify spending that kind of money on auto racks or on freight cars. Although I have been spending a little more on the well cars because I'm trying to upgrade. I'm not having any luck getting the weights right or something on these kits. They're driving me nuts. And maybe some of it's track issues. I don't think so. Nothing else is giving me issues on the tracks. At least it's hard. I think it's a weighting issue. The weights. I know I can weigh down containers and stuff. I get it. I'm not tossing them. If anything, I'll sell some of the older ones as I replace them with. Like I'm trying to buy more like Cato, these main lines that are metal, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean the scale train operators when they first announced them a couple years back, I think if you bought 6 or more of the operator ones, you were looking at like $39 a piece. I guess not horrible, but the operators were closer to 70, I mean, the rivet counters, yeah. Those are nice. DG Model Works, Derek Glass just did a video a day or two ago on those. Well, he did it on the HO scale a while ago, but then he just did one on the N scale one. Hey, how's AJM Trains? Good morning, sir. How are you? We're hitting these at track. Nutty. I've used, we said most of my turnouts are Pico and everything else is Atlas Flex. I don't even wouldn't mind getting the micro engineering, or is it the Pico Flex? Because it holds its shape and it's a little easier when you're doing curves. But yeah, I like, well, my Crooked River and Eastern color scheme is basically the Rock Island blue and white. I like that color scheme, so that's kind of what I went with. It's not exact, but it's close. I mean, come on, Ian, 5 auto racks, that don't make a full train. You need 40, 50 of those things to make it for a typical train. Come on, just buy it. Not like you got little kids or anything at home you gotta feed and put diapers and stuff on. Just busting your chops for you, I get it. I have a hard time not buying stuff in pairs. I don't know, it must be a mental thing with me. Buy locomotives and buy them in pairs, just rather speed max usually. If I set a car, I usually buy 2 of them. A rail car, not an automobile. Oh, really? They going out? Is that what you've heard? Yeah, don't have any exact rail either. Some of this stuff is just above my pay grade. And that's not above what I'm willing to pay, let's put it that way. I think my thinking is you have way more freight cars than you're going to have locomotives. So I have less of a problem paying for the nicer locomotives than, oh, yeah, okay. Let's see, yeah, I got some of the scale trains as well. Never thought they'd seem cheap in price. Yeah. I mean, I think I have 17 or 18 auto racks. I don't run them a lot. Thought about picking up a scale trains, picking up an Intermountain for comparison, just to add to the fleet. Most of mine are kits. They were old Walters kits. I got a couple that are like out of the box, ready to run, whatever you want to call them, Walters. Most of them were kits either I built or bought as kits and upgraded them a little bit. You must be talking N scale. $40. Hey, Rick. How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. Steve was there to send her a jam camp contest. Yeah, that kind of gives away some hell of prizes, man. He has a contest. He's a good dude, but I don't know how he affords those prizes. The trip is cheaper by about $20. Yeah, but I think people were kind of disappointed with the scale trains, especially the rivet counters, because unlike the Intermountain ones, you can see through them. and they were more like, I believe they're more, at least on the HOs, they're more of a metal um, siding on them. I think people were kind of disappointed in that for the cost. But maybe not. If they're $20 cheaper, maybe that's where that comes from, because they're not see-through and stuff. If I was going to spend the money, I probably would go with the higher end if I was into spending that kind of money on it. Again, I don't run auto racks much. It's not my thing. I have some, I'll run them from time to time, I'll get a bug, I want to run them, but I'm fine with what I have. I run what I have. Once in a while, I'll see a good price on a site or an eBay or whatever, and I'll pick one up. I like the kits because I like building kits. But like I said, like with these well cars, I've just been having all kinds of grief. They give me all kinds of fits. So I think I'm going to try to slowly replace some of the kits with better stuff. So we got an answer to this. Has anybody had experience with soundtracks, multi-train system sound is layout rather than locomotive based? Is there any good? I do not have any experience with that. Although that is kind of a cool idea. I know like those soundtracks sound cars, you know, you put the decoder in, you know, like cow sounds, things like that, just like railroad chatter sounds. But, Steve Bennett, I think, had some kind of sound system. I don't know what it was or is. I think it's kind of neat. I think it was him. Where you can have the trains running, so you got those sounds, but you also have like birds chirping and stuff like that. Just a whole like awesome for like making a video in. But it might get a little annoying if you're sitting there and you're hearing cows and birds chirping and stuff. But interesting. But anyways, back to the sound system. I don't know anything about them. I just think it's kind of neat. Again, it may get a little bit of, may become too much. I end up turning down the sounds on these locomotives a lot just because they're too loud when they come out of the box. It's just too much noise. When you get, you know, you're running two, three together, you know, it's just a lot of noise. Loud. And I'm old, I don't like loud. That's cool. That's really cool. Especially, you know, you can make a nice scene with that. You know, you got your auto ramps at the end, and you can actually have cars loading in it. There's actually a guy that does that. I can't think of the name of the channel now, but he has those cars that go around in a loop, and they're like a channel and cut into the bench work or into the plywood, and he runs the cars up into the auto rack. Well, see, something like that, if I was into that and I had like an auto plant or somewhere that I was really into running auto racks, then I might consider spending more money on nicer, like more detail. I mean, nicer. The cheaper stuff isn't junk. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the details aren't as great. That's okay most of the time for me when it comes to your cars, your rolling stuff. And these are my opinions. I mean, obviously, what the hell am I? I'm not right, wrong. Everybody has their opinions. I'm not knocking anybody. Hey, John Prescott, how are you doing? I'm not knocking anybody else's views, and if it's coming off like that, I apologize. I don't mean to be, knocking anything. I'm just telling you my opinions on it. For what that's worth, take that with a grain of salt. Like I said, I've been looking at a lot of well cars lately, and it's they're expensive. But the ones I've been buying, like the Kato's 53 footers, are metal. I bought a set of Walther's mainline. No, these are Walther's Gold line, I think. I bought them used from a guy on eBay. They're in good shape. I got them the other day. They're running pretty well. But they're all metal cars. These 40-foot Walther's ones I just picked up, they're metal. I haven't had them on a track yet, so I don't know how they run. I know Rapido makes a nice product. I don't have any, but Central Hobby yesterday. Is that an online shop or is that a store? Central Hobby. Right, yes. Well, there's no. Actually, they just came out with some new ones too, but I don't think you can see through those either. I think Intermountain's the only one you can see through and open the ends on. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not trying to knock anybody for any of that, buying them or not buying them or whatever. Scale road rail. There's semi-trailers, or does everyone fabricate from 3D and printed? Well, again, I'm not in skill, but I don't know. Yeah, no, well, the 53 footers I got, Brando, are metal. These appear to be metal too. I haven't ran these. These are articulated 40-foot flat car sets. So I'll mess with them maybe later today or something. Well, Rick, the main reason, I mean, I love intermodal anyways, but I'm modeling. One of my biggest industries is going to be the North Baltimore intermodal yard up here in Deshler, Ohio. That's one of the main reasons I modeled the area, made the layout, trying to make the layout the way I am, is because I wanted to run, or at least attempt to somewhat duplicate that facility. It's not going to be easy because of space, but that's kind of my hope, to at least get somewhat of that model. So I do have a decent amount already of intermodal. I need to get some more. Apparently I need more 53 footers. I don't have any 40 footers as far as containers go. And I think I asked it earlier, I don't see an answer. Does anybody know, does anything larger than a 40 footer, like a 48 or a 45, will that fit inside the bottom of the well? I know you can put them on the top well, or the top car, the stack, but what does anybody know the largest that would fit in the bottom? I haven't opened them yet, or I haven't really tried yet. Yeah, Jeff. These are the mainline ones I ordered from Lombard. I got a TTX, then these are BNSF, the swoosh logo on them. And it's hard to see inside there, but I just got them last night or yesterday in the mail. I haven't really got them on the track or anything yet. I opened them briefly to look at them, and they look nice. So I did have to glue a couple things back on the one car. Oh, really? 3D printer is probably thicker. Well, you didn't have to weigh them down anyways. Where did you get those through? Is it like one of those? Like I've seen some on eBay. They look like they come from China. Um, I don't have any CSX wall cars. Well, I take that back. I do have a set or two. Just one set there. Blue. It's a There's kit. Orders? Or it might be after the box. Kit. CSX. That's what I might end up doing anyways, seeing if I can get some 3D printed stuff. I know a lot of guys go with the paper cardstock ones, you know. But they would be really light. Like I could see using that more in a yard for fill in a yard. Because I don't know how heavy. I guess you could weigh them down, especially the bottom card. And well, you don't want to weigh the top one down anyways. Too top heavy, I would assume. But I've seen that. Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know the yard I'm talking about, then, right? So one just east of Deschler. Diamond in that there. And that's the reason I'm doing the whole Willard subdivision. Because it's along that line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it's probably not going to be 100% prototypical. It's just, you know, that's just what I felt, you know. I guess it'd be kind of their version of like the Union Pacific Global 3, which is a huge yard, you know, intermodal yard. Well, guys, it's 11:18. We've been out here for 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 38 minutes. I am going to get something done today, come hell or high water. So I have to get this laundry room squared away for these washer and dryer we're getting. So I'm going to sign off in here. Appreciate you guys watching. There's 17 people in here. Maybe I should start later. I feel like I get more people when I come in a little bit later. Start at 9:30 instead of 8:30. Or 9 instead of 8:30. Let me know, comment on the video after it posts. Let me know what you think on the start time. I know some of you guys, like Steve, you're out on the West Coast, so it's probably super early. What would it be, about 5:30 or so out there when I go on at 8:30? I think it's 3 hours behind me. Eastern Standard Time. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go sign off. Again, thanks for stopping in. Catch you again next week, same time, 8:30. It's my turn to do On Track Tuesday. This coming week, I believe it is the 25th. I think it's the 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern. Later today, 6 p.m. Check out James Tedesco's channel, the Shortline Thursday. Comes on at 6 p.m. And after that, I don't know which one of the Canadians is going on tonight. I think it was like Chris was Go Here or Go Home was last week. I don't know if it was back to Mark this week. I don't know what's going on with that show, because unless I misunderstood, I think Dave, 88, is going to be taking a little hiatus, and I don't know if I heard that right. But anyways, they're on at 8 o'clock. After, it'll be after Jim. Jim's on at 6. So Anyways, I will get you guys later. See you in the chats. Bye for now.